Stars enabling. I don't know, whatever. Trying to reconnect. There we go. Now it's got it. Looks like we have a live signal.
The satellite's BB booping. Welcome back to the Oregon Trail Rally, folks.
Yeah, waiting for some people to tune in here. Waiting to see. You all can see.
So there's actually
this beautiful area of the Columbia Gorge that we are on.
This is usually the first spot we go to on Saturdays, but we switched it up this year.
All right, we do have a couple of live viewers. Yay! Hi, Ryan. Good to have you back online. Good for us to be back online.
I see it on my end.
Welcome to Stage 7 of the 2025 Oregon Trail Rally. We are on the famous Dalles Mountain stage. This is where they climb all the way up the historic Columbia River Gorge out here in the Golden Dale area. Actually, down over that way is the Dalles on the Oregon side, and there's our giant river. That is the Columbia River Gorge.
That's where we're at.
And we've got this wonderful stage road right here. We can see the cars for a long ways. What we really like about this one. It's very high speed. We have our radar gun again, so Katie will be recording the top speeds for our cars. Obviously, we can't get them from too far away, but I think as they get a little closer to this little sweeping S-turn section, we should be able to capture some speed, so that'll be fun. It is very windy here, like very, very windy. So apologies in advance.
Yeah, if the tripod blows over, it wasn't Mike tripping on it.
Yeah, this time.
This time. I see dust in the distance.
Yes, so car 21 has started, which is Connor Martell. He is first. There we go. We've got Travis Estrada started as well. Remember, 2 minutes. 2 minutes between the top cars, so we'll have a little bit more of a gap, and then after that, it's 1 minute each. But from here, look at those dust trails in the distance. You can see them all the way from here.
Yeah.
Try and zoom in a little bit.
Pretty crazy.
I'm gonna try and move my seating position so I can better control the zooms here.
And Connor will be easy to spot. He's in that bright orange Kubota Subaru STI.
Yes, we're in Kubota country here. This is where we have all kinds of farmland. This is rangeland that's used by many a cow.
And several deer.
And there's deer out here too, yes.
Just one or two.
Hi, Michael Cosgrove. Good to have you listening in, watching in. It's just so cool that you can see them for such a long distance here.
Right?
You can't really hear them with how much wind it is, though. All I hear is wind in my ears.
You see them far enough away and they disappear for periods of time. You're like, are they okay? Where did they go?
And with the 1 minute intervals in a bit, you'll end up, seeing multiple cars at a time, which is kind of cool. Oh, there we go. Follow the dust trail.
I can actually shoot that far.
Nope. Now he's got to come up that little turn there.
Ripping through here.
Yep, and the dust is going to go right into our faces. So now you can tell the direction the wind is going, which is towards us. You're going to see me having to wipe the lenses rather frequently today. Whew.
Yeah, the wind's going the wrong direction on this one. Last stage we got lucky.
It was in our favor, yeah.
This one,
not so much.
Not so much.
So Connor Martell is currently sitting second place, but a healthy 45 seconds behind Brandon Semenuk. So yeah, there's a gap there. It's understood. I am getting, it says slow connection, so hopefully it is still working even though it's slow connection. We're trying to only use one device on our satellite transmission here. This is Travis Pastrana.
Car 689 has started.
In the ARX? Is that what
ARA 25L.
ARA 25L, that's it.
I thought it was rather uninventive name, to be honest.
Yeah, so
I imagine they, at least they didn't give Travis the naming rights for that. I imagine you could come up with something a little crazier.
well, there we go. I got to do a better job of catching them on the when they get up closer and trying to pan fast enough, because they do go by quick. Hopefully you can hear the cars.
Thankfully,
The things we do so you guys can watch rally cars.
thankfully the rest of the cars slowly start making less dust.
All right, now we're down to the, what's it be, 1 minute intervals starting after Brandon Semenuk goes by.
77 miles an hour from Travis, so he was
there
4
you go.
mile an hour slower than Martel.
Okay, 4 miles an hour slower. So the limited four-wheel drive car was only 4 miles per hour slower than an older generation open class car. Isn't that interesting?
They're calling it a cheap everyman's car, but they built quite a weapon. I'm not,
Cheap and Subaru though. Factory Subaru. I mean, that's a relative term.
tend to have, you know what, anything out there, you know? Now we got Semenuk on the way.
Yeah, I'm really curious about what his top speed is. Although, then again, top speed isn't the thing when you got all the downforce, you know?
Yeah.
Also, what did you say it was, 77?
Yeah.
On gravel. I mean, just think about that. 77 miles an hour on gravel.
1 lane gravel road. 1.5. Give him a
Yeah, this
little
one's
bit.
1.5.
You got a rock to lick? 84. A little faster than Martel.
Oh, wow, 84 miles an hour.
Car 621 has started.
We should have Ryan Booth next. This will be the first of our Rally 2 cars in the RC2 class. And he's sitting third overall, I believe. I'll zoom in for you folks a little bit.
I love the sound of these cars that have some of these blow-off valves or bypass valves, whatever you want to call them, and they just go.
The wastegate. It's a chittery car. It chitters.
It sounds like there's a squirrel in there just
Just like a squirrel, it chitters.
going mad.
Actually, almost kept up with that one. Almost.
This is the moments that the wind's not bad. 82 for that car.
'82.
82.
And the Fiesta Rally 3, or sorry, Skoda Rally 2.
Yes, go to.
Again, wipe the lens. Sorry, folks. So it'll be interesting what the other Rally 2s, their top speeds are compared to Ryan Booth.
The green APU car.
Patrick Gruszka.
The wind helped us on that one. Didn't
Yeah,
it?
blew from the other direction. So what was the speed?
74.
74. And what was Ryan Booth?
81.
So 74 to 81. Okay. So similar, you know, class of car, but a little bit different top speed.
Another fast sounding car coming up here. Oh, I already have so much dust.
I know, right?
Another Ford from Element.
Now, Hobby?
Looked like Javi and KJ.
Yep.
Sure is. Double checking.
And you just see in the distance, multiple cars all at the same time are running, because we can just see for so long up here.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's the efficiency of rally though, right?
Yep. And then yet on the other side over there, I don't know if you can see it, there's streaks of rain right over there. We've actually had some hard, sharp showers kind of pass through with a couple of the clouds. And that affected stage 4.
This sounds
Or, sorry,
like
not
it's
stage
Andy
4.
Miller.
Stage 6.
It sure is Andy Miller.
Sure is Andy Miller.
You
Is that
can,
right?
can
Stage
tell these
6,
flat
stage 5.
sixes from
Sorry,
pretty far
Oak
away.
Flat. They had a massive downpour that hit the last 40 cars. They got really mucky with the last few.
Forgot about the dust on that one. He was good.
Woohoo!
How fast was he going? 74.
74.
In an
So
NA
that's-
car. All the
Yeah,
other cars were
naturally
turbo.
aspirated, 6-cylinder engine in that thing. And still right up there with the Rally 2 speeds. That's freaking impressive.
Our radar operator has a 69 mile an hour photo of her radar gun here, which is funny. This would be Stephen Red right here with Dylan Hooker.
Come on, see how Stephen Red does here. New car to him. And to the Stephen Red Racing Arrive and Drive Rally organization. What was the top speed there?
75.
75. So actually, he's right up there.
Yeah, he's moving.
He's right up there with Patrick Gruszka's speed, isn't he?
Sure is moving for him saying he's gonna feel it out.
Yeah, just gonna feel it out. Not gonna take any chances.
Sometimes the race car just does race car things.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so yeah, so there's a little bit of excitement, I guess, on one of the stages where a really sharp rain came through. We have one that I know car that's a DNF. That's Richo and Michelle Miller in their Lexus. They had an off. I did look at the inquiry form, and it looks like maybe they're going to be able to restart, but they'll have, of course, time penalties for missing stages. So big time penalties.
This is that Focus RS again.
Oh, Cam Steely.
Yes, Cam Steely.
Nice to see that car working well.
72 miles an hour for Cam Steely. Still, everyone's right in that same ballpark. It's pretty impressive.
Well, hello, Tracy, all the way out there in Ireland. Miss having you out here on stages.
We got Despain now.
Woo-hoo!
76.
70, wow, the Despains.
Black hole rally team right
Yeah,
there.
they are not slow. That's fantastic. So yeah, so the only one I know of that's out, although they said there were 74 cars total when we were on Andy's run earlier. There's a total of 83 entered, so I'm not sure what happened to the other ones between Portland and here, but yeah, we only heard about recently Richo being out.
The Lexus is on its way, which we should have known from what we could hear.
Yes, Hooper. Michael Hooper. We miss you, Dave Clark. Watching from home. Wish you were over here competing against Hoop, man. You got that M3 all sorted with the A-arm issues that you used to have, right? You know, those little suspension arms were no longer bending when you were at Olympus. So, sad that you're not over here, man.
Another turbo car coming up here, it sounds like.
Yes, the naturally aspirated cars with the H6 swap, they're very fast. So that's Alistair Scully in the Rally 2. This is his first year using a vehicle of that capability, and he's slowly getting up to grips with it. What was the speed of Alistair there?
71.
71, all right. What was the Despain speed, do you remember? The
76.
76, that's right, okay. Nice. So the Despains were faster than the one of the Rally 2 cars. Isn't that cool? I think I hear a Seamus Burke.
I was going to say it's Seamus for sure.
So for those of you watching in Ireland, he's currently sitting second. He's 25 seconds, I think I saw, behind Michael Hooper. So.
Always a pleasure to see that car out racing.
Wiping the lens again. Sorry, folks.
66 for Seamus. Little slow.
66 for Seamus?
66.
How fast was Hooper? Do you remember?
I don't off the top of my head.
Okay.
$79.
Wow.
Moving.
Was that the Rally 3? Clio? That wasn't the Clio though, was it?
That was a Ford car
That's what I thought it was
14
Ford.
from Element. McGinnis and
Woo. Oh, that's right. Yeah,
a
McGinnis.
last name that I'm not gonna butcher on a live stream. No offense.
Yeah, they're actually sitting second in or third in limited four-wheel drive. And that is the Fiesta Rally 3 with George McGinnis and Michael Shevchik. Shevchik from Canada. That's the Clio.
Yeah, it's the Clio.
Is it just me, or does it feel like they're running a little ragged? I mean, they've been, I don't know, a lot of oversteer that I'm seeing when they're approaching corners. We had the same thing when they're coming downhill to
true.
the hairpin when we were on Andy's run.
Very true.
Oops, sorry, get that back over here.
Could just be a driver preference, though, you know? Wants a little looser car, prefers a little oversteer to understeer.
See, if Facebook allowed me to do a regular wide angle, this wouldn't be a problem me trying to keep track of these cars. Just saying. Is that Gearman?
Sure is.
Another H6 NA four-wheel drive Subaru. That was
Doesn't sound like it's running on all the cylinders.
That was something was happening there. Yeah, like whenever he let off throttle, is like something was gasping.
Yeah.
Interesting. What was the speed there?
70.
70. Okay, I mean still respectable speed.
I know those H6s make a lot of heat. I know some of the teams that I've worked with have had to do a lot of cooling modifications to keep the H6 happy in those platforms. The bug eye. Nice. Phil Clark?
Phil Clark, yes.
I felt that. I don't know if you heard that on the
Right.
live stream, but I felt that in the back of my head.
Little shotgun blast of a backfire there.
Pretty sure it popped my back.
There we go.
458. It should be the next one. Actually, there's probably a car between this one and that one still. Yeah.
Roberto, you like the bug eyes?
Here comes Chris Sear from Team O'Neill and Barely Serious.
Yeah, that's one of the limited two-wheel drive cars that still is not slow. It's a Fiesta ST, so it's the turbo car. But still mostly stock. Again, heavy
I feel like
winds.
you always got to put quotes around mostly stock when you're talking about a rally car.
I mean, that is true.
Because these guys will tell you it's stock, and then you'll like get in there and you're like, oh, there's like 4, 5, 6 go fast parts in here you didn't mention.
Oh, you put Rigers on there.
Stock.
That's so stock. I mean, obviously suspension, you need that, but yeah, it is kind of funny.
Yeah. No, I know one of the teams, the more grassroots privateer teams, put a set of Rigers on their car that was worth more than they paid for the car.
Right?
Yeah. It's worth it though. Having ridden in that car after the Riger install,
yeah,
it's really impressive. Got the other Escort coming up.
Currently leading open two-wheel drive in the regionals. John Hill.
We got real lucky on that first stage, not really having too much dust. The car's black.
Oops, sorry. Get back up here. There you go. You can see the dust trail. Again, apologies if you can't hear everything as well with all the wind.
Ah, the blue Fiesta.
Ooh. Looks like you maybe cut that corner a little bit. This is, what, Julian Sabot?
Yeah, Julian.
And Stephen Harrell.
Oh, the limiter.
Yeah, on the limiter.
Sometimes you just have to wait till after the turn to grab that gear, you know?
And back over. And now we have rally cars again.
$69 miles an hour for Julian. And have that
Not
with his
bad.
croissant
Way to
lady.
go, Julian Sabot. 69 miles an hour. I should have given you like a less sheet to write on or something.
Looks like Han is on the way next.
Michael Hahn?
Yep.
And in his redemption run of Oregon Trail after his incident 2 years ago.
Yep, that looks like Michael.
Seems like the car is much more sorted than the issues that he had up at Olympus. Always been a quick driver and just needed a quick car. Now that the car is more sorted,
Now we have Alex Chadney, who's what, second in class right now?
yes, second in the regional overall. Is he H6 swapped as well, right?
He is H6
Yeah.
swapped.
And it looks like he's catching.
Yeah, he's got less of a gap there.
That is less than a minute by a lot. They're gonna have to reseed him.
I can't. It's 75.
75 miles an hour.
75 for Alex.
Nice. Way to go, Chadney. Moving it. Yeah, this is a perfect viewpoint. It is one of my favorites. It wasn't so darn windy, but you could just see the cars for so long. It's just, this is the magic of rallying out here in the Columbia Gorge. It is, you can see for so long.
And this side a little less so, but the other side, you're actually sitting in the Microsoft wallpaper. If you looked really close,
yeah,
you
that'll
could
be
see us
tomorrow.
on your wallpaper on your actual desktop. Madeline Tabor and Sophia McKee. Tabor Racing Team.
First of the Tabor family cars. Wipe the lens a little bit here.
The Audi.
Oh yes, Roberto Iglesias.
That's Roberto. Another aggressive backfire. 72 miles an hour for Roberto.
Roberto going 72 miles an hour top speed. That's not bad, at least in this section.
Scooting pretty good. Again, it's hard to tell here. The other one was hard to tell. We're looking uphill. Now we're looking downhill. Somewhat decent grade. So the cars are working for every mile an hour they get
That's
here.
true. Yeah, it is definitely an incline.
There's probably a 200-300 foot elevation difference between the bottom of that valley and where we're sitting now.
Car 501 has started.
Got another BMW coming up here.
Yeah,
I think it's our
Sage Van
first of the
Tilburg.
stage,
I
actually.
believe he was sitting second. In the open two-wheel drive class, if I remember correctly, for the regionals.
How fast was he? 66.
66 for Sage Van Tilburg, and I believe it's his birthday today. So
Happy birthday,
happy
Sage.
birthday, Sage.
We'll get the Subaru team to sing you happy birthday at Park later. Heard they have an a cappella group.
Yes, Roberto Iglesias was really good to see the car actually running well. Had so many issues up there at Olympus, but looks like it's running really well here. It was great to see him go by.
Running strong, looking good, sounding good, smelled good. Love the smell of race guys, man.
Right? Hey, it actually burns cleaner.
You burn all of it. Another Subaru coming up. Our 429, the Crouches. Coming on through.
Copy, 425 has finished. Car 50 has started.
Alex finished. Alex made it.
That was a 30th car.
Good to have you watching, Lisa. The Subaru cars were earlier, so if you, after this is done, rewind back to the beginning. They're, of course, at the start of the stream. But there's also many people running Subarus that aren't the factory Subarus.
Another Subaru, speaking of which.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of Subarus,
All the way from Vermont, if their plate's correct.
I think I totally missed staying close on them because I think I had it zoomed in too far. Sorry, folks.
Ooh.
There we go. So looking up the escape. There we go. There's our dust trail. You're welcome for the live stream, Milton. I'd like to show you a little of the action and this beautiful North Pacific Northwest views that we have out here. Unfortunately, no mountains right now. I mean, they're there, but I can actually see the peak of Mount Hood through the crack in the clouds there, but I'll maybe at the end try and zoom in on that for you. But it has been very cloudy. There was rain that was coming down this morning and yesterday or last night. So,
Bit of a gap here. Bit of a gap. As we've mentioned, usually gap, and someone had some type of issue.
yes, this is a beautiful road. Happened to be up here for something else last year, and it was right when they had the Aurora Borealis could be seen from the Pacific Northwest. There was all these people from all over around the area driving up to the top of Dalles Mountain to watch the Aurora Borealis. It was really neat. If I can stay on them this time. 501C. The GT86. or FRS or BRZ thing. Has Dark Star race passed yet?
Dark Star? Yes.
Yes.
I think so. That was the bug guy, right?
Yeah, I guess it was. Yep. You have to rewind later. Sorry. Whew.
Oh, they did get that other Lexus back on course already.
Oh, is that Richo?
It is Richo.
Woohoo! Richo and Michelle, they're back.
They don't look any worse for wear from the picture that I saw, too.
Yeah, but you know, being two-wheel drive, if you get the car off in a way that the wheels are high-centered, you're just stuck, right?
Right.
And so that's maybe what did them in. Just assuming here. All right, so what do we have speed for Richo?
72 miles an hour for
72.
Richo.
Did they get the bug truck? Yes, they did. We saw the Volvo at the near the very end. It was the second to last car on the last stage of Andy's run, or the stage that we were on, which was Andy's run. The second stage of the day, that's stage 5. No, 4. Stage 4. So go back and watch that live stream. You'll see it at the very end, and it'll be hopefully near the end here.
Neil Cruzy? Niels Cruzy.
Niels Cruz. I love those screaming RPMs.
It's always good, man.
Yeah, they full turtle shelled the the Volvo, but it was interesting. As soon as they had actually dragged it into the pits area, right away the ARA tech was just kind of looking through the broken back window, and immediately was like, I don't see anything, at least on the, he needed to look closer, but he's like, I don't see anything structurally wrong with the car, looking at the cage. Then it was just going to be looking at the engine and some other stuff just to make sure that, you know, it was still safe and all that. But yeah, I mean, obviously got to replace fluids and stuff after rollover, but they got it back. I missed who that was. Was that Jay Mume or?
69 miles an hour for them. Car 399.
399.
Shabao.
Oh, that was Shabao. Okay.
I couldn't hear you, sorry. Oh! Another small gap here.
Oop, there we go. Ooh, we got a couple of cars looks like pretty close when these ones go by. I'm not sure. Look at the dust trails. Kind of hard to judge though with the wind.
True. I agree there. Give my eyes a small break.
Jared Bent and Tim Tokstad. Long-time competitors. They're car number 503, and if I remember correctly, that's because of the 503 area code of Oregon.
Yup, that would make sense. I could follow that.
And that reasoning is pretty easy to follow.
503.
I'm going to wipe this screen here a little bit. There we go. Yeah, they're catching. Who's this catching up to him? Is that Doug?
It looks like Doug.
Ooh, two-wheel drive in the BMW M3 catching up. What was Doug's top speed?
70 miles an hour.
70 miles an hour.
For Rochambeau Racing. And their BMW M3.
Yeah.
He's been running that car for a while now, right?
Yeah. But he just last year put a sequential in it. So he's getting used to that.
Doing some constant updates, if I remember correctly. It's a nice thing that when you don't put it on the roof or into a tree, after a decade, you can warrant putting some upgrades, right?
Yeah, definitely. Instead of just constant repairs.
Instead of just yet another H6. Subtle dig.
Yeah, I do not tend to hear people complaining about head gaskets on the M3s.
Right.
.397, and I think I panned too fast on that one. Sorry.
Car 604 has started.
Go get a battery for this thing here soon. It's not ideal. Guess I should flip this around to save some of that. Looks like the first of the Tabor Fiesta is coming up next. What? Henry coming through.
He doesn't have his flashers on this time.
Must have unkneed the button. 69 miles an hour for the young man.
That is quite quick in that little thing.
And these Fiestas are two-wheel drive. They're not like the fancy ones that were coming through earlier, Sisters, where that one's four-wheel drive with a little more power. This is
a lot more. I mean, that one's a fully homologated, you know,
Yeah.
FIA M Sport built Rally 3
Yep.
in the sister's car. And yeah, we've got Henry and just the basic Fiesta ST. I mean, basic in air quotes, but still, it's still the limited two-wheel drive class, which is about the most basic in the American Rally Association Championship. So,
about as simple as you can make them.
yep. Yeah, Team Doro, when they went by and completely hosed us with a bunch of dust. I think he was showing off back on Andy's run. You should go back
Yeah,
and watch that. It was hilarious.
Like the one time we got Dusty sit in that spot.
Is that Alspa, I think, in the Audi?
Audi ripping up the hill. Still sounds good. 65 mile an hour, not bad.
65, not bad, yeah.
I think this looks like it might be Mark coming next.
That means
sure is.
He's catching his son, because I think that's a little bit closer placement in the start order.
He's got to show him what's up after what happened at Olympus, you know?
Right? Mark Tabor's 200th rally. And yeah, I kept it zoomed in too far. Sorry, folks. I should have zoomed that back out. Wipe the lenses again. There we go. Who's faster, Henry or Mark?
Henry.
Henry tends to be faster, but the consistency isn't always there. So that's where Dad comes in.
Yeah, Mark has been the national champion in this class before, right?
That's right. Last year was the 25th anniversary or 20th anniversary.
One of the two.
Since his limited two-wheel drive win. He went for the whole championship, hoping to get it. Just missed out on it.
Well, one person hears that you're doing something, then becomes a competition, and a lot of people try to do it, you know? Livingston's
Brett
ripping right on
and
through.
Hunter, yes. Father-daughter. Whew. Came all the way up from California in that car. Well, not driving it, but you wearing Subaru socks.
I'm wearing
Look at
rally
you.
socks, man. They match my hat.
Whew.
If only the dust would also take the, or the wind would take the dust out of my eyes too.
Right.
That'd be nice. That'd be a cool feature.
Almost thinking it's going to be harder to stay in the chair
Right.
than it is just to be here on the ground with you folks. Let's see.
I'm gonna give you this because I need to go get a battery. If one of our friends comes, the button takes photos. You know, I'll just take this from you.
Oh, this is the limited two-wheel drive, I think, Lexus that we saw going slow earlier. Number 604. So on Andy's run, they were going quite a bit slower in that Lexus. It's a VW. This is the Jetta, maybe? Oh, sorry, this is the Volvo. Duh. Oh, they're back on the road. That's Sean Edwards and Kendra Miller. What do I get when I get, instead of using my eyes on the actual road, I'm trying to just look through the darn camera. Don't see as well. They cut that a little bit. Yeah, there was a stake in the ground right kind of down over here. You can see there's another one. There was one a little bit farther up, and they clipped it. So they were cutting that corner and clipped a little stake. Yep. What was their speed?
I have a camera.
Oh, you got the camera now, so you're not allowed to do. You can't do two at once very well.
Not these two. I can do a 10 and that, but not.
Did you guys stop by the Seahawk bus for some barbecue? We have not been back towards service or anything, so have not had such an opportunity. We've been just going from stage to stage as best we can. We missed Maryhill by like 4 minutes and then drove out here. That's the Jetta, I believe. There we go.
It's kind of heavy now, huh?
Is it the Jetta or the Golf that went by? I thought it was the Jetta.
I'm sorry, I had to run down to the car to get a battery. I have no idea.
Massive breeze.
Oh,
That was a good one. That was a good one. Well, we're sitting at the bottom of a gully, which probably is not helping our wind situation either. Besides being in the gorge.
Well, and then also the other end of the natural Ventura that is the Columbia River Gorge. You get on the other side in Troutdale and over here in the Dalles is what happens is it narrows down, necks down through Hood River and all that as it goes between those two areas.
Now we got the Masaru coming again.
You get the pressure differential on each side and it causes acceleration in between.
Banana-roo, as our partner in crime here says. Looking good though.
The Banana Baroo.
How fast were they? 64 mile an hour.
64 for the Banana Baroo. Nice. Or is it just Banana-roo?
Banana-roo.
Banana-roo, okay.
Which is not an article of clothing.
No Republics involved. And I almost followed.
Well, yeah, sometimes you brace yourself against the wind and the wind stops and all of a sudden you're losing your thing you're leaning against. The white Volvo coming up now.
Turbo brick.
.68 mile an hour in the Volvo. What's funny is there's so many of those Volvos that exist nowadays that couldn't do 8 miles an hour if they wanted to.
There's a car flipped over on the other side of the mountains. Uh-oh.
Not great.
Yeah, I mean, that happens sometimes. You clip a corner, and that's why they have roll cages.
Yeah,
And
we
then
saw it last night.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully everybody's okay.
That is the sport and the danger of it. Condor rally team coming up now. Condor. How fast was Condor? 69 miles an hour. Seems to be a pretty consistent speed for this hill.
Yep.
Which is curious because it's double recce speed. Almost exactly. Another pretty decent gap over here.
Oh, on the other side, yeah, it wouldn't have been the Honda Fit. Probably more like a Fiesta if you thought it was one of those two types that rolled.
This looks like that Mercure coming up now. XRT4F.
Yeah. Dave Clark, if you're still watching, you may remember. Oops, sorry.
It sure is.
Move the frickin' camera.
Car 770. It's quiet.
Dave Clark, my car! Yeah.
It's good to see it out here in anger again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very cool car.
The spot where they kind of come out, disappear behind those little trees. There's another car.
So those two cars are close.
Behind. Yeah. Looks like we're gonna have some stacked cars here. This is definitely a confidence hill. Well, then also, like you said, power.
Yeah.
You know, because just so much uphill on this section of it.
And it's long enough that these guys, especially the turbo guys, are getting hot, heat soaked, and not making the same power by the top. Ah, it's windy enough, it's hard to take a photo. All sorts of windy.
Yeah, wind is pretty brutal right now. Yeah, definitely catching. Might catch him by the end of the stage even. Quick gear change there. And right after us is where there's this really rough section. Sorry, gonna wipe the screen there. Really rough section of Dalles Mountain Road. Just this bedrock that's underneath the main road that is just rough on cars. Yes. Really rough on cars.
Pretty brutal area. Another Subaru STI. Zapski.
47. Andrew and Ben Zapski. Or Zapski, I should say. A P, not a B.
Is that our last car I heard going on stage?
I was not listening. Trying to find where to zoom in on cars. 443 was the number, so no, I'm not sure if that's. I think they were just asking what the last car was on the radio. There you go. So 443 has started. Where's 443? Oh yeah, we got a ways to go.
Okay.
We probably have another dozen cars.
Nice.
Depending.
They're shaking up the order enough that it's hard to kind of get a grasp of it by car. Here comes Gabe and Mitch Meadows.
Yep, I will no longer say what has happened to them in the past. Just wish them luck. Nice smooth driving by our Melee design firm and Melee Media guys there. One of the supporters of our rally, so definitely like to shout them out. Need a protective cage for your battery? Check out Melee Design Firm, and if you are a rallyist and you want awesome media coverage of your event, check out Melee Media. Their team is top notch when it comes to covering teams and their sponsors.
Mike. I can't say this out loud. You need to read this.
Hold on. just heard about this event. Yeah, we've been rallying here for, shoot, 10 years now. There we go. That sounds like a much more healthy Evo 10.
It does sound like a very healthy Evo 10.
It did not sound as healthy or confident of driving when we were over on Andy's run. So there, it's back. Whew, it's just a hiccup. Thank goodness. I like that you think that this is cool, Brian. Why don't you come out and volunteer sometime if you're in the area? Sign up at OregonTrailRally.com next year and get the closest to the action by being a volunteer.
You don't need the whole thing. Okay, then don't worry about it. The Robot 3 is mad.
Well, we also miss racing in Idaho. There used to be a rally there. Unfortunately, lack of volunteers and organizing has made that one be off the calendar for several years. But the roads over there in Idaho
They're nice.
are some of the best. Very nice flowing. Yeah, just I really, really liked being over there the time that I got to go check it out.
And I know we've mentioned there's 80 some odd racers registered for this weekend, but it took at least 200 people for those 80 people to be able to race.
It took 350.
350 people.
Last count I had of volunteers was 354, and hopefully we got even a few more because you just need so many.
So it seems like a sort of easy thing to close down a road and do it, but you're closing down 4 or 5 roads at the same time across 2 counties.
Yep.
It's not the easiest, unfortunately.
The BMW 318 Ti.
Car 297 has started, and car count is now 7-3.
I do not cover hill climbs. I'm just actually with the Oregon Trail Rally. Used to be with ARA as an official commentator for them and going to all the national championship events, but I really just cover Oregon and the Olympus Rally, and really that's kind of it these days. So I don't do traveling the whole circuit. But Washington Hill Climb, though, that is one of the most epic hill climbs. I mean, it definitely rivals Pikes Peak, to be honest.
$65 miles an hour for Eric Frenchis. His Toyota, fresh built, brand new car coming up the hill. I think he bought that, and it was labeled as a rallycross car, almost ready for stage rally. And in getting into it, it became a bit more of a project than he was hoping for. But it's exciting.
Hold on, we got a proud mom here. Love that we're streaming. Just saw my kids go by.
Nice.
Daughter co-drives and son-in-law is the driver. That's awesome. Sorry you couldn't come out and be with them, but yeah, this is there's a lot of families that are involved in our sport, a lot of partners. We also call ourselves a big rally family because you know, it's the form of motorsport where, you know, people want to beat each other on the stage times, but not, you know, somebody because of a mechanical issue. And we very much see competitors that are duking it out with each other, you know, give a part to their closest rival just to make sure that their car is still running, and they beat each other with stage times, and that's it. It's just something we don't see with a lot of other like circuit racing, where they're looking for every little advantage, and often that means, you know, hey, if their closest competitor had a mechanical issue, that's their problem, you know. Obviously not all teams and groups are like that, but it tends to be more common. Clean that lens a little bit. There we are, back out there. Yes, that should be the nature of sport, I agree with you, but isn't always. Oh, that's great. Well, and then if there's a chance that they, you know, can't compete or something like that, find a local rally event or rally cross or whatever, and volunteer and help out, because I've found that it's been very eye-opening for competitors when they see how much needs to be involved to organize events. It's a lot of work. Was that Johan from the sound of it?
Sure was.
Nice. How fast did Johan go? Did you happen to catch it?
67.
Nice job, Johan. Speaking of families, that's yes, a son driver and dad is the co-driver. Oh, Darkstar, okay. I guess I missed on who is Darkstar. I haven't actually gotten too up close on that. You do not see F1 fans pushing a car back on track. Well, that is true. Actually, to be fair also, though, is there's certain rules, though, in European rallying that don't allow like a fellow competitor to yank someone out on stage. In American rallying, yeah, that's not uncommon for a fellow competitor to actually pull out a tow rope and have it, you know, ready, and jokingly, they literally kind of hold out like a $100 bill, whoever's willing to stop, and give them a quick yank to get out, so they're not time barred and have to wait for sweep. So those things can happen here, but a lot of European rallying, they can't do that, so. Yes, the Legacy with the Colin McRae livery on it. What's unique about that car is it has a water exchange intercooler, which is from Japan. It was what was used actually in Colin McRae's car back in the day. Very hard to get a hold of. Steve Greer, who built that car, had told me that, first of all, it's hard to get a hold of that engine. But when he did, or the intercooler, he says he can run all day on the hottest day, and then he can just stick his hand on the intercooler, and it just feels barely warm to the touch. It won't get, you know, not, you can put your hand on it anyways, it won't be that hot. It'll be warm, but not burning. Eric Hopf and the Colt. The Mazda rotary engined Colt. That is so cool. I love that build. I think that's one of my favorite ones that we've got here.
Another.
Yes, I would love to go out to the Washington Hill climb sometime, you know, and they probably have a similar issue with the... There we go, now we're back. Sorry about that.
Next time we'll bring the satellite all the way up the hill with us.
I don't know if that'll change it though. We had the same thing where we were closer at the other place, so...
Yeah.
I think it's just not quite perfect technology.
The other place, the router. I didn't realize that until I was putting it away. There's a router between, or a car between you and the Wi-Fi router.
Yeah.
That looks like the Fit.
Yeah, that does look like a little Honda Fit, doesn't it?
How fast is the Fit doing? 54.
Little Honda Fit.
Something
Love
to be
it.
said about a slow car driven as fast as it can drive.
Yep, you know? Definitely learn your momentum driving.
This car sounds pretty quick too.
Whew, wind's really kicking up here. We probably have about 5-6 cars left, I think.
This looks like Eric, if I'm not mistaken. It sure is. Oh.
Eric Zabala and his Focus, I believe, or is it Fiesta? That was a
Focus.
Focus, yeah. Will these be on YouTube? We will try and download them and then upload them into YouTube. But of course, you know, it's not simultaneously cast to YouTube. We're trying to get our YouTube channel going for Oregon Trail Rally. We literally just started it just before Oregon Trail. And so we need to get more content on there before they let us use it for live. And they've got some weird quirks.
The integration isn't quite sorted out for people who aren't the actual owner of the page to live stream.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. Yeah.
I managed to get all the requirements figured out this week, and then as of Friday, we just got the alert saying, as a manager, you can't live stream.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer after spending that much time sorting it out.
We'll get it figured out eventually.
Next year. Really,
that's why you're in vertical, because, well, yeah. Facebook. It is what it is.
Jacob Sturgeon.
What's our next stage? We're going to try...
We're talking about Maryhill.
Yeah, we're talking about Maryhill, the last run of the day, because I don't think we'll make it to Oak Flat. Those are our two options, though. Oak Flat or Maryhill, but it would be a push.
We've already missed one stage today.
Yeah, right?
I don't want to miss another.
Yeah, we don't want to be so close in time that we miss one, so. Yes, Devastator went by. Such a fun car.
I don't know that we'll have time for that, Mike.
Yeah, I'm thinking we won't either. So yeah, probably Maryhill as we get into the fading light. It is the last stage of the day. Is that Karen Jakowski?
It sure is. My cards are full.
Great to see that SRT Neon running reliable. Nice.
Yeah. I need to turn it down probably.
Not leave? car 358 has started.
Should do a TikTok account. Well, not my jam. I'm actually not the one that handles all the social media really for Oregon Trail. I just do the streaming and commentary stuff. I'll use whatever tools that they've got. Not really into putting TikTok on my phone specifically, but you know, I know it is what the kids like. I don't know if they do long format of hour-long
That's a big thing.
streams though.
TikTok does that. Twitch should be another one.
Twitch is great for the gamer community. That's the thing, you've got these segments of people, right? And I want to get the largest audience possible, and to me, I think that's YouTube. I think if you're really going to get we're kind of a little bit of everybody, younger, older, gamer, non-gamer, whatever, everybody seems to watch YouTube, so I think that's probably the best platform for us to go to. I mean, Facebook's been good to us over the years, but yeah, I think the next level would be for us to go to YouTube. Especially since we get landscape back. I just want landscape of all the things. We don't have the ability to use a platform where we can do multiple streams across all kinds of different, from Twitch to TikTok, all that, all at the same time. There's ways of doing that, but you have to use studio apps and stuff, and that's a little difficult to do out here remotely.
It would be hard to set that all up. Copeland's going on by?
That's right. Nice to see the Copeland still running well.
Because we have to set up a satellite dish and get it connected in the
and
amount
a laptop
of time while
to run
being
the
set
software.
Up. Well, already, I'm talking about now. We already have to set up satellite, get in spot, and then be able to break that down and get out and get to the next spot. And everything that adds a little bit of time reduces the amount of stages we're able to stream for you guys.
And we tried doing live on Instagram for the park expose that we did yesterday. But the one thing that we haven't figured out is how to download the videos like you can on Facebook, so we can get those over to YouTube. Because again, trying to push things over to YouTube. So, anyways, everybody has their preferred platform. So it is what it is. My main thing is I want to be out here recording cars or watching live cars going down stages and talking to you all. So there you go. Watching from Daly City, California Parks Foundation. That's awesome. Well, we are actually just outside of a state park up here. Where the cars are passing through in the distance there is actually the Columbia Hills State Park, which is part of the Washington State Park system.
Over on the other side, right?
Yeah. It's where you see the cluster of buildings in the very distance. That's within the park boundaries.
Little Focus coming on up the hill, doing 68 miles.
And that is one thing about this, sport that is so awesome, is that it's for the outdoors people, right? It's yes, it's car racing, but it's out here in the outdoors, something that all of us in the Pacific Northwest love so much. And
most of the time.
It is, yeah, except for when the conditions are not favorable. That is true.
Extremely unfavorable. I'll deal with some. Like right now, this is not comfortable, but it's fine. But if you threw rain in here,
sideways rain would not be fun. Yeah.
The stream might be ending a little early.
But that being said, yeah, to be in these beautiful environments, places that not most people would even go.
Yeah.
We actually draw interest to these different places.
Tomorrow, the little town of Doofer, we quadruple the population of that town in that period of time.
Right, exactly, just for one day.
It's their entire...
a big economic impact.
Yeah, huge economic impact on that little town, and that little shop, they must stock up specifically for that
The
event.
Doofer Market? Yeah.
And then by the end of the day, the shelves are empty.
We've got 80 teams.
Yeah,
you think about, 4 or 5 or maybe
Volvo.
10 people. Oh, I'll be quiet and let you listen.
That's what going to get the milk in the 60s looked like. if you lived out
Yay! The Volvo Amazon's still going! Woohoo!
I was gonna say, we have a lot of cars together now, so I think sweep's on the way. Except this looks like one last racer coming through. It's kind of terrifying how good this hand warmer is. You know what we didn't see, Mike?
What
the
do we not
truck.
see? What?
The truck.
We have not seen. Yeah, what happened to Flynn Baglin and the?
The Rally Ranger.
Yeah, the Ranger.
That truck last night, I don't remember if I mentioned it on the last stream, did a full 360 in front of me without
Yeah, you were saying that.
letting up the gas the whole time. It was pretty epic.
All right, so that is the last running of Dalles Mountain. I think we have one more car that might be passing us here in a second, or it's just Sweep that's on the road. Sweep follows the last car out and make sure there's nobody, stuck on the road or whatever, and helps yank them out. Oh, thank you so much for watching us, and thank you to Subaru for sharing our stream. We're just so, we love this sport so much, and Subaru's been such a big supporter of rallying in America. They just do these special discount codes for the folks that are in Subarus, even old ones. They are sponsors of most of the events, as well as sponsors of the entire series. You really can't say enough about Subaru. They've been great partners. And of course, their social media and all the videos and stuff they do, launch control, they are some of the best when it comes to covering our sport. And we can't thank them enough. These are some of our Sweep vehicles. It's always fun to watch what these guys are doing.
They always have a cool, eclectic collection of 4x4s.
Nick, I didn't hear you say that. I don't want to hear about you acting like you're driving in OTR on the back roads around here. But yes, drive safely, please. So this is the green light vehicle. See all the flashy greens? What that means is we can leave.
That's not green.
Was that not green?
That's not the green.
Oh, sorry. Was that the orange lights? Okay, my bad.
I'm pretty sure that's...
Green light is on course, though. I thought it was greens, but that was me. Maybe my glasses were filtering that differently with the glare.
They were kind of green, but the green's usually green.
But here's all our sweeps and e-crew. So we have emergency crews that are in these trucks as well. And yeah, so stuff to yank out cars, stuff to help cars, stuff to, if somebody does have a medical issue, some of these vehicles can get there faster than the ambulance, and they can stabilize somebody before an ambulance gets there. So there is a massive group of people that help with these rallies. There's our green light. S90 is our green light. Oops, sorry I didn't catch him earlier. That's Isaac, one of the big supporters of our event. Really does a lot in getting stuff organized and whatnot for all those sweep teams. Thank you all for watching. So yes, our goal is to go to the last running of the day, which will be at Mary Hill, the second running of the Mary Hill Loops Road. And yeah, we're gonna head out to that stage. So again, I'm your host, Mike Shaw.
I'm your co-host, Austen Knight.
Thank you, folks, and we'll see you later.
Thanks, guys.